So that is Nate's race Jeep, and this is a very poorly done voiceover because my camera didn't record any audio for the first little bit of this, but don't worry, it gets better. Now in the last race, Nate rolled his Jeep, messed up all kinds of stuff. Now we have to rebuild the front suspension, build a whole new steering setup, whole new fuel system, all new brake lines, valve cover gaskets, and it all has to be done today because the race is tomorrow. And when we get done with all that, we have to turn right around, do all the front suspension and steering on Jordan's Jeep as well, because Jordan is racing too. Now Jordan is doing some CAD board design, doing a little arts and crafts to build some new shock mounts since the old ones don't work anymore. Test fit number 1, got a little more trimming to do. Sharpie makes it happen. Cut a little more off. Try it again. Nope. Got a little more off. Try it again. Now we're getting somewhere. Look at that. That shock line's right up. Arts and crafts for the win. Now from cardboard, we transferred over to metal and cut out the bracket. Little grinder to smooth everything up. Make it nice and pretty. And look at that thing fit right in there. Almost like it was meant to be. Tacky tacky. Make it stick. Now Nate's in there welding up some bump stop mounts. Look at that, so pretty. It's almost like he's done this before. Alright, making the shock mounts permanent. Now cutting out the bump stop mounts on the other side, which don't line up with the new suspension anymore. Look at that nice little shower of sparks. Like it never happened. New bump stops going in, it's right where it needs to go. Tack it in place, make it stay. A little more CAD board design. So precise with the Sharpie. Now time to make it permanent with the plasma cutter. Grind it down smooth. Fit it up in there. Stick it together. Then once both pieces are in, weld it all out. Now pulling apart the old shocks because they clearly didn't work last time. This is the shim stack that controls all the valving inside the shock. Look at that new bump stop mount. So shiny. This is going to be one of the steering tie rods in the front end for the hydraulic steer. And Nate's just going to slowly rotate it around as he welds. Jordan getting the new steering ram ready to go. And fun fact, the harder you squint, the better a Milwaukee impact gun works. Alright, the tie rod's welded and Jordan is getting it threaded on there. We're using a shop rag as an oven mitt because it's still hot. And now Jordan is burning his hands over and over again because he just doesn't learn. There's that oven mitt shop rag again. And here we have Nate holding onto the cold metal with the gloved hand while Jordan is holding onto the hot tie rod with the shop rag. Makes sense. Put the nut on and done. Now time to slide the new rebuilt shocks in there. Line up the holes with a screwdriver. Look at that bolt fit right into Jordan's mount. Good job, Jordan. And luckily for us, the sound came back just in time for us to watch Jordan realize that he was supposed to route the shock reservoir hose before he mounted the shock.
No pressure, Jordan. The world is just watching you fail right now.
It's like one of those nail games where you gotta like line it up just right.
Yeah. Swiper, not swiping.
Go switch flipper.
Don't worry. You got it?
Ta-da! Ta-da!
Don't worry, I can edit out that part.
Good. Get the winning part in there.
No, I was gonna edit out the part where you actually got it.
Oh yeah, here.
So Jordan is building brake lines and Severin is reading him the directions while he does it.
Technically few lines. Few lines. And technically this is actually the schedule. I'm letting him know when he runs. So
hey, this is way better if you're reading him instructions on how to build the lines.
I like that better. Alright, 90-degree angle, 3 inches up from the end.
So the schedule is, this is when gates open, this is pit party,
This is when
driver's meeting. This is the part where Nate wrecks it again. This is the part where we fix it, and then this part where Nate wrecks it again.
We got Sunday, then Sunday we get out again.
Hold on, no, we gotta add a Saturday night in here. We gotta fix all the stuff that Nate wrecks on Saturday.
A full all-nighter.
Yeah.
What do you say?
What?
Nothing?
Huh?
Wait, what do you say?
Nothing.
I think I heard him say like the part about Nate winning.
Nate something up and pulling an all-nighter to fix it for Sunday.
That's a guarantee.
No.
Like if you stick the foam insulator on there when it's right after you weld it, it kind of glues it
Yeah,
on there.
that's what we need.
Yeah. If you can touch it with your tongue, it's good. Look how professional that is. Now I don't even know like what to do with them. They just look so good. So professional.
So Jordan, we're filming over here.
We're trying to work.
How many races has Nate done approximately with this Jeep?
Okay, are you talking
Like how many events?
one?
This Jeep started life, what, 2 years ago?
I'm gonna
So,
say
like,
a solid 7.
I think 10.
No. When you rolled it,
6 or 7.
when you rolled
Okay. Now the more important question. How many times has he been here till midnight the night before trying to get it ready for that event?
6 or 7. Those two numbers are the same number.
Because that mean guy who makes the schedule in the office always makes you do real
No, it's
work
my
instead. We're definitely editing
Put
that
that
out.
on YouTube.
I think he said life.
Life, yeah, it's your life. Your life, your life gets in the way.
Wife.
With a W.
You are a brave man
Yeah,
over there right
My
now.
wife. It's my wife.
Don't
She's
edge.
trying so hard to pull me away from the race car life.
Oh man.
And I am like, no, race car! And she's like, no!
$10 says in an hour he's willing to pay me to edit that out of the video.
You're leaving it in there now. I would totally full.
You know, I might not even make it to an hour.
Actually,
Yeah, you know what? Just
I think if you put it in there, I think she would laugh because I think she would agree. Like I'm not wrong,
are you willing to risk that?
potentially. I mean, if worse comes to worse, I get to play with
you're
race
not
cars.
wrong in your mind.
Okay.
What's the difference?
Okay, fuel filter mount, fully welded. Control arm mount. Sort. 50%. Yes.
Good to go.
Welded? Yes.
Actually, that's been through a race or two, hadn't it?
Uh-huh.
That's been through a rollover too.
It's been 2 rollers.
Hey, Gavin, how's it going over here in the world of being productive?
Going. I'm almost done. Just put the drive shafts in, put some fluid in this transmission, and go do some burnouts.
Is that how you test drive vehicles?
It's customer, so yeah. Don't put that on the internet.
Got it? Yeah, look at that.
Go to the store and get your ass.
So if you've ever had your car worked on at Elite Fleet Automotive and it was low on fuel and you got it back,
Hey.
this is why.
What?
Race Jeeps take priority.
If this thing, like, if I was like unconscious and I had to, and somebody that has never seen this before came running up to it to like get me out, I would be screwed. Like, these don't work. This interior door handle is like up against the seat. This doesn't work.
So what you're saying is, if you roll over, I can't help you.
Just bring the jaws alive.
Would they kick you out of the shop now? It's race Jeep time in there.
7.9 volts.
Alternator not charging?
Yeah, I think that's what's happening.
So now poor Gavin's got to work in the parking lot because it's race shop now.
Okay. Plan B.
What are you trying to need to do? Oh, you need to get that shock in
I
there.
need to get that in there.
There's your, no. That's not gonna happen.
What?
Oh Jesus, oh Jesus. That's not an okay thing to do.
It's Friday on race day before race day. Everything's okay to do.
Get in there! Milwaukee type.
Five and a half.
Whoa.
No sway bars.
That got sketchy quick. Whoa.
I'm using a blinker.
Oh, you're golden. That was smooth.
Okay, make the tires see a little less air in them. Brakes work.
We should have tested that first.
No.
So what do you think?
I think it's good. I think it's jumpable.
There's smoke coming up from like the floorboard here. In case you want to be concerned about that. Yeah, good. Check that. So what issue are we having now?
So, full hydraulic steering. Full hydraulic steering means it doesn't have a gearbox. So you take the gearbox off and you install an orbital valve. So this is something you'd see on like a forklift or like a rock crawler. This is not a street application. There is no mechanical connection from the steering wheel to the axle. It's only hydraulic lines. So the way this orbital valve works, there's just 4 lines. You've got a pressure line that comes from your pump, and that's labeled as P for pressure. Then you have a return line that's labeled as tank, or T for tank. So you can see I have this. We've got the pump. This is the pressure line. You know, that normally goes like that, and then pressure to the orbital valve, and then it comes out of the orbital valve to a cooler. And you always plumb your coolers so it pushes the air out. So we have from the orbital valve to the bottom of the cooler, purges all the air out, and then goes to the reservoir. So the problem that we're having, this orbital valve is a 9.8 cubic inch per revolution. So each turn of the steering wheel, that orbital valve displaces 9.8 cubic inches of fluid. We have a 2-inch by 8 ram that has an 1.25 inch shaft. So if you calculate the volume of that, you can calculate how many turns lock to lock it is. This setup should be a 1.5 turn lock to lock. This orbital valve requires like 5 to 12 gallons a minute, and I'm giving it maybe 2. So the problem I'm having is when you turn the steering wheel, like you're racing, wanting to steer, it's like it's hard. It's almost like you don't have power steering. So we need more flow out of this pump. We could put a different pump on it. That's probably what should happen if we weren't racing in less than 24 hours. Tech inspections at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. So we're going to try to modify this TC pump. This is a 93 Grand Cherokee with a 5.2 liter. That is just an O'Reilly's pump. and we've got it taken apart. You take your pressure line off. This chingadera here threads in like so. This is directly underneath it, and then those are your 3 pieces. This spring is what regulates your pressure. So if you want to put a stiffer spring in it, if you want to take and just stretch that spring out, that spring pushes on that. So what we're going to do is we're going to stretch that spring out. It's going to make the pump run higher pressure, which we don't really need. We just really need gallons per minute. So what we're going to do to get more flow out of it is we're going to drill that hole out. Jordan just looked something up and found a 3/16 drill bit is going to be the size we need. To me, it looks like that hole might also need to be opened up, or maybe another one added to it to try to increase flow. So yeah, we're gonna start drilling some holes and stretch stuff out and put it back together and see if it works better. This is a Nate level vise. Must be this tall to use this vise. Jordan makes this vise because he's like. Look at that flow. I can smell it. Yep. And what did you just drill that size out to?
11/64.
11/64. Okay.
That's about as big as
So
it
upon
goes.
further investigation, we sucked all the fluid out of the pump, and this chingus comes down. The fluid is coming into this area here from the pump. So if this is building too much pressure, then it pushes down on that spring. Which allows the fluid to not go this way. It just kind of churns in the pump. But as far as increasing gallons per minute, obviously we need to make that hole bigger and that hole bigger. I also stretch that spring out.
Like hard.
So pressure is restriction of flow. If you have too much flow, you won't have pressure.
Exactly.
So if you drill that out too far, like obviously in this application where you're going fast and you're on dirt, you know, like we're not asking for like a rock crawler where I am moving 0 miles an hour and I am trying to push a 4,000 pound vehicle up against a rock wall to turn that way. This will never see that. Which is why it's a 2-inch ram. The bigger diameter ram is more surface area on that piston, so you have more pounds per square inch of force. So for this application, we have a small diameter ram in hopes to quicken, you know, the lock-to-lock steering. But yeah, I think if we drill that more, we're gonna be going the wrong way.
So what you're saying is
drill bit for the win.
all this because the door wouldn't open?
Well, yeah, I gotta get in there and weld.
How are you gonna shut it after you cut the latch out?
What? I'm not cutting the latch out. I just need access to the latch.
Oh my god.
Where's the...
Did you cut the hole in the wrong spot now?
No, I think I gotta cut through that. Yes! Great success!
So if you ever lock yourself out of your car, just give Nate a call. I'll get you right in. You know everybody's gonna yell at you for welding next to a battery, right?
Oh, I don't give a
So now that all the important stuff is finished and the Jeep actually works, doing some more detailed stuff like the upper control arm brackets got some flex to them under load, so Nate's going to throw in some stiffener bars before they break off, and a small little detail turns into a very expensive repair.
broken shocks.
Yeah, very expensive fix. Done. Put in the trailer. No more. Shut up. He's done.
There's always room for improvement.
Not tonight.
Yeah, not tonight.
Throw it in the trailer. It's done. race it, figure out what to do for next time.
Repeat.
Race it, break it, rebuild it.
All right, we are heading to the races to see how much stuff Nate can break on this thing, and we're taking you along with us in the next video. See you there.
Okay, here we go. We're going through the jumps.